What's up everyone, how you doing? It's John, and in this video I'm going to take a closer look at Nintendo Power. This is issue 70, came out in March. It doesn't say the year, but we will soon find out. And it's highlighting NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Of course, it's got the Bull mascot. There was a cheat where you can play as the mascots. It also has the Charlotte Hornet, looks like, on the cover. Here's what the back looks like. It's got, of course, during this time, Super Nintendo's out, so it's highlighting Donkey Kong Country, Final Fantasy 3, Uniracers, Punch Out, Super Punch Out, Super Metroid. So kind of towards the earlier part of the life of Super Nintendo. Let's go through page by page, take a closer look. I love these classic Nintendo Power magazines. Awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, thanks for subscribing. Let's take a closer look. So here's the cover. I love the old school covers for Nintendo Power. I think they always put a lot of detail. They're always kind of unique. Headquarters, Redmond, Washington, right down the street from where I grew up in Bellevue. I had friends growing up in middle school, elementary school, more middle school and high school actually, because it was later years that actually worked for Nintendo being play testers, and I regret not doing that for school, going out to the Nintendo headquarters in Redmond and play testing a lot of these games that we're showing here for the Super Nintendo. So that'd been really cool. I'm not quite sure if it paid or not, but it was definitely, you get perks. You can play games that were never out released. Pretty awesome. I love these classic ads here as well. It's easier to eat 4 pounds of cafeteria meatloaf than beat someone who reads Nintendo Power. That looks disgusting. But you can subscribe to Nintendo Power. Let's see, give me 3 years, in 36 issues for just $45. So about $1.25 each issue. $67 for Canadian, so that's a steal. I wonder, what did this retail for back in the day? It's $5 an issue back in the day. So, you know, you're paying quite a bit less. Table of contents, NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Of course, Donkey Kong Country was really popular during this time. Let's see if we can find a year that this came out. Let's see, issue March 1995. It's right there. So 1995, interesting. Players polls, people could write in, send in letters, tell you what's going on. They always had fan art too. People would decorate their envelopes, which is really awesome as well. Here's a power chart. These are the top games in 1995. Donkey Kong Country, of course, just recently came out and has been on the chart for 5 months. Less than half a year. Final Fantasy 3, classic. If I had a time machine, I would go back and buy Final Fantasy 3. I'd get Earthbound, all these classic games. You know, Mortal Kombat 2, Zelda Link to the Past, which has been out for 38 months on the charts. Incredible, sustaining game there. NBA Jam Tournament Edition makes it top 20. King Griffey Jr. presents MLB. Wasn't right before. I got NHL, Madden, NFL 95. So some top sports titles for sure. Game Boy Top 10, Donkey Kong, which is great for the Game Boy. I highly recommend you guys check it out because it starts off as kind of the original arcade and it's a completely different game. You get keys. It's really cool. I love it. It's a really fun game for the Game Boy. Wario Land, of course. Top 10 epics. Final Fantasy 3, Legend of Zelda. Awesome. Cool. So by this time, of course, Nintendo NES was kind of off, not really supported anymore in mid-90s. NBA Jam Tournament Edition, of course, based on the classic arcade, which I'm fortunate to own one myself. Great game. Who plays? Substitutions. These are the different game characters. There are actually, people still make NBA Jam. They do hacks and they have updated the rosters and really cool. So I was actually playing one the other day on the Super Nintendo with new rosters from 2021 or last year anyway. Super cool. I think that's awesome. They're incredible. And they have like the stats and everything like that. And like the Sonics are no longer around, so they actually have the Thunder. And it's really cool. They've taken the time to update the teams and all that good stuff. Speaking of Sonics, that's where I lived. My favorite team. Still bitter at the NBA for moving to Oklahoma City. If you live in Oklahoma City, no offense, but Seattle's a great sports town, man. I definitely miss them. And it's lame. But it shows you each game here, each character. There's different codes you can put in. So you can play as Bill Clinton. I think you play as Hillary Clinton as well. Frank Thomas you do as the mascots, which is why the cover's the way it is. I don't remember the code for the mascots necessarily. But there's you can play as people who developed the game. Here are the rookies. They have a rookie squad. Jason Kidd. Montrose Hill, Grant Hill. He was a rookie back in 95. Jam codes. So you can play as Larry Bird, Carol. You can play as a woman here. Bulls mascot, Hornets mascot, T-Wolves, Suns Gorilla. You can play as the Iguana. You can play as different characters. These are different developers. People worked on the team. This is Williams' team. Pretty awesome. Okay. What's the Shadow? The Secret of Evermore. This is kind of different things. What is this? Winter CES. Pictures from there. The displays. Pretty sweet. The Virtual Boy. Seeing red. This Virtual Boy is about to come out this time. I remember all the promotion. I went to Bellevue Square, as a local mall where I grew up, and I still have a button, a badge that was Virtual Boy, and just the promotion playing for the first time. I actually got the Virtual Boy growing up when it first came out. I actually love it. I know it's got a lot of heat. A lot of people don't like it and you get headaches, whatever, but I actually really enjoyed the Virtual Boy. What game is this? This is Metal Warriors for the Super Nintendo. I love how they patched these screens together for, that's just how they did it. I'm not quite sure how they screen captured back in the day, but they did a really good job mapping each level together, and that's what Nintendo Power is so good at. Of course, you got your centerfold here, just like your Playboy centerfold, but obviously no new topless women. But you got the Star Trek Deep Space Nine game coming out for the Super Nintendo. On the back, you have more missions, all that good stuff, right? This game kind of reminds me of, I don't know what game it looks, I can't think of it, but it just reminds me of something, not like a Metroid, almost like a Metroid, but Epic Center. So these are games out. Making of Knights of Justice, Earthbound preview. So Earthbound is not out quite yet. If I had time machine, I'd buy all the Earthbound copies, keep them sealed, and then come to the future, right? King Arthur and Knights of Justice. Can't say I've ever played that game. If you played the game, let me know. Earthbound preview coming up, right? And Irrational Inquirer, Meteorites, Herald, Aliens Invasion. Okay, that's cool. Here's Earthbound. Talks about Earthbound. Pretty cool. Useful stuff. Such a great RPG. Final Fantasy III, Uncharted Waters, Breath of Fire, another great game. These are different weapons, damages, all the good stuff, okay? You got the Ignition Factor, so these are Into the Fire Squad responding. What game is this? Is that the name of the game, Ignition Factor? I can't say I've ever played this game. It looks very interesting. You guys ever played it, let me know. Speedy Gonzales, Los Gatos Bonitos. It's like a platformer. I can't say I've ever played this game either, but the graphics were great. Definitely look like him. I'm not quite sure who developed it. Does it say? Warner Brothers trademark. It doesn't say. Sunsoft. It says Sunsoft, which Sunsoft made some good games back in the day. I'm not quite sure what happened to them, but they definitely made some good ones back in the day, including Gremlins, all that good stuff, right? Top Gear 3000 for the Super Nintendo, great racer, power-ups, things like that. Tetris and Dr. Mario, so taking some classic games, poured them into the 16-bit, give them a facelift, all that good stuff, all classic ones. Definitely a great game for the Super Nintendo. Classified information, these are some codes. Killer Instinct, Speed Up code, you got the Classic Pitfall, the Tick, let's see what other games. Special, this is Cheyenne's Revenge. It's really hard to read that. Samurai Showdown, all that good stuff. Expansion teams on NFL, Mad 95. Judgment Clay, Clay Fighters 2. NBA Jam for the Game Boy, different codes. They had even hidden characters in that as well. Jurassic Park Part 2. The first one I definitely played a lot. Hadn't played too much of the Part 2. Every Jurassic Park port for whatever console it is was unique. I give Jurassic Park credit for that, whether it was for Nintendo, Genesis, 3DO. There's so many different platforms that had Jurassic Park. The Tiger, handheld, of course. Every single one of them was unique. Like the Jurassic Park for Super Genesis was so different. I actually preferred that over the Super Nintendo one. But Super Nintendo was fun too because it had a first person kind of perspective at some points. It was like a top-down. What game is this? Hagen. Hudson Soft, Mystical Warrior, Steel. I'm going to have to go through and play some of these games. They're great. It's awesome. Another Looney Tunes. Oh, I'm skipping a page here. Love the artwork. It's incredible. It's great. It's good stuff. Looney Tunes B-Ball. Can't say I've ever played that. It's like an NBA Jam featuring kind of different Looney Tunes characters. Let me know if you guys have played it before. When you make the call. These are people you could call in to Nintendo headquarters for help desk. Obviously, since the internet, dawn of internet, those no longer necessary, but you get charged for the call. I remember calling every once in a while for tips and advice. Counselor's Corner, Super Adventure Island 2, great game. Earthworm Jim, of course, really good game. Genesis ports, amazing too. Robo Trek, Donkey Kong for the Game Boy. I mentioned that before. And it's so different than the arcade. And if you like Donkey Kong, definitely check it out. Incredible Hulk for the Genesis. It's a beat 'em up. Really fun. Who had made this game? Marvel. It says Marvel. I'm not quite sure who made it. Doesn't really say. Very cool. Artie Lightfoot. It's like a platformer. There's a lot of games in this magazine I've not played. I promise you I've played a lot of Super Nintendo games for sure. Bubsy 2 I played. There was a new Bubsy came out several years ago, right? I think he's still around. They did a remake or a new game with him. Fun platformer. Nintendo Power Awards, 94. Best Hero, Donkey Kong, of course, Earthbound Jim, Diddy Kong, Samus, Mega Man, Luke Skywalker from Super Star Wars, Firebird, Spider-Man. Worst Villains, Carnage from, Superman. What game is that? It's Spider-Man, rather. And it's a great one. Maximum Carnage, I believe the game was called. There it is. Great beat 'em up. Scar Mother Brain from Metroid, of course. Very cool. Major Mucus, I'm not quite sure what that's from. Best Goodies, different characters. Worst Baddies, Silver Space Pirate, Super Metroid. Best Original Character, Earthbound Jim, Blackthorn, Zero, Diddy Kong. Coolest Weapons and Items, Grappling Beam, Super Metroid. Here's where you can send in back issues and order those. Best Selling of Stories. Final Fantasy 3, of course, takes the cake. Best Moves, The Crystal Flash, Super Metroid. Best Overall, Donkey Kong Country. I remember when Donkey Kong Country first came out, it was amazing. The graphics and just the technology went into making it was amazing. Really cool game. One of my favorite games for the platform, for sure. Now playing. All these games were featured in this magazine just previously. Now here's where it says companies right here. Okay, they do a better job explaining the company now opposed to before. Pack Watch, these are games coming out soon. True Lies, based on the movie, of course. Weapon Lord, it's a fighter. Lion King, this is more Game Boy stuff. Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which was we saw the poster for earlier. Not much Game Boy stuff, not much Game Boy love in this particular episode. A lot mainly Super Nintendo's. Stargate, and this is Kellogg's Nintendo Powerful Prize. They're giving a giveaway. You can get a Game Boy, all that good stuff. Watch, remember these digital watches here. Not much Game Boy love in this episode or in this issue. Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for subscribing. We'll see you guys soon. Take care and have a great day. Bye.